There are two content creators in this video in which both were plagiarized. That's the only word I can use to describe it, by large, mega huge YouTube corporations. And before I get into all the evidence and their takes on this, the most important thing is the actual creators, okay? So I'm going to leave both Slush as well as CZ's World linked in the description and pinned comment below. Please check out their channels, and if you enjoy what they're doing, make sure you subscribe and show them some love. If you like my channel, you'll probably enjoy theirs. I have a great respect for both Slush and CZ's World. Their content is of another level, far superior to the content that I put out. Their level of research and deep dive into various topics is impressive. My content has value in different ways. I bite-size and package the day's news, add some memes to it, and make it easy to consume. This isn't to bash my own content, but it's simply to acknowledge that I greatly respect the amount of research and work that goes into their type of videos, and to see it get pillaged by super huge YouTube content warehouses is disgusting. The very first example I want to talk about is Slush, which was can only be described as completely plagiarized by an esports company called TheScore. It's a giant, super huge corporation with 1.3 million subscribers that receives nearly 30 million views a month. On April 20th, just 6 days ago, they published how playing whatever the heck he wanted made Summit 1G the king of Twitch. Let's see. Stolen from Welsh Wear Champ. The video is ripped off Slush. This is not right. This is almost verbatim as to Slush's video. Bruh, at least give him credit. We all know TheScore knows exactly who he is. TheScore be copying Slush's videos from over a year ago. Pretty low for a big company to be doing. This video is a hard copy of Slush's video from a year ago. I mean, every top comment is pointing it out, yet there is absolutely zero response. Now, just to put things in perspective, this is the exact same company that published this video. Why the OK hand symbol is not okay, and Blizzard got it right. Much to the chagrin of their subscribers, it received 3,700 upvotes and 62,000 downvotes. Now, I'm going to let Slush speak in his own words to show you just how bad this rip job really was.
Already guessed, I'm obviously talking about Fortnite. The game dominated 2018, and whether they were for it or not, most big streamers felt compelled to play it.
Fortnite was a global phenomenon. The game was everywhere, including Twitch, and everybody wanted to watch it, so Summit obliged.
Now, at the time, Summit was playing the game and his stream was doing great, but there was a problem. As the weeks went on and he had to keep playing the game, he got sick of it fast. Like, really sick of it.
There's gotta be a different fucking way for me to make it in the Twitch world than go down this fucking Fortnite line, man. It's the most boring shit on the fucking planet, dude. How do you guys like this game so fucking much?
But he quickly grew tired of the game. What started out as enjoyment turned into a mind-numbing chore to appease viewers, one that tore at his sanity.
There's gotta be a different fucking way for me to make it in the Twitch world than go down this Fortnite line, man. It's the most boring shit on the fucking planet, dude. How do you guys like this game so fucking much?
And this led to a lot of problems for him, because it turned streaming into a chore. He grew tired of the Battle Royale genre in its entirety.
But for a while, that dream felt like a nightmare to him. A nightmare fueled by one cartoony Battle Royale.
And eventually it got to him and his mental health deteriorated, culminating in him taking time away from streaming.
Eventually, Summit said screw it and took a break from streaming.
Okay, I know that was a lot of side-by-side, and obviously I reached out to both creators to make sure that I could use those clips, and they both were more than happy, by the way, to allow me to. I know that's a lot, but, I mean, there's zero chance you make it through that video with all those examples and don't at least agree that they were clearly using the original very viral video as a blueprint for their video. Now, who is TheScore? Well, it's a channel that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on YouTube. That's correct. 27 million views a month just on one channel. Based on what I know about CPMs, and who watches their channels, they're in the multi-$100,000 per month, and that doesn't even include any sponsorships or anything like that. And it's pretty interesting that April 20th, they decided to do this. Now, when you look at their main channel, most of their videos, I'm sure, and by the way, we're going to do a deeper dive here, but most of their videos, you know, they don't get, you know, they get 100 to 200,000 views. They kind of do the same thing I do with high volume, and occasionally they'll hit with something, and usually their outlines or their deep dives into a particular popular Twitch creator. But this video, put out just 6 days ago, was actually put out by the original creator over a year ago, Slush. April 20th, 2022, I'm sorry, April 22nd, 2020, he put out a video saying how they had indeed stolen his original video. One of his most popular videos on his channel, by the way. If you look at Slush's channel, it's 71,000 and growing, very respectable. But if you just sort, and this isn't the first time we've seen this, if you just sort by this, it's literally his most popular video. 3.1 million views from a year ago. Absolutely, in my opinion, was stolen by TheScore eSports. This isn't the first time a company's done this. If you remember back to 2018, IGN's Philip Munchin was busted stealing a smaller YouTuber's video game review, Boomstick Gaming, I believe, at the time. And really, about 20 others from what I can remember. There was an absolute pile of videos that were taken down. You can see IGN pulls ex-editor's posts after dozens more plagiarism accusations surface. He then put out one of the worst, most hilariously bad apology videos in history. But again, this is another super huge, mega, multi-million-dollar corporation stealing from an independent YouTuber. Let's move to CZ's World, which just had their video stolen by multi-million-dollar corporation Screen Rant, a YouTube channel with over 7 million subscribers.
She ends up in the hospital.
She ends up in the hospital.
And in the hallway, there's another patient who's completely wrapped in bandages.
The person is so coated in bandages that they look like the Invisible Man.
Where he hides his invisibility by entirely wrapping himself up in bandages.
It kind of seems like they should be in a private ward, but I'm a YouTuber, not a doctor.
Well, maybe you need to try something else, because I don't think the whole YouTube thing is really working out for you. Let me break down that word for you. The U in YouTube is derived from the word you. Not me, CZ's World, who it looks like you've also ripped off many times in the past. Not John Solo, who you've been ripping off in an unspeakably egregious manner. Not this guy on Reddit whose Marvel theories you stole with no permission and no credit after rejecting his application for a job. You means you, yourself. If you want to reap the benefits of hard work, you need to be the one to put in that work.
Now, if we look at who Screen Rant really is, they're 3 times the size of TheScore eSports, racking in nearly 70 million views a month in the multi-hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. It's a multi-million-dollar content machine. If we look at the video that they put out that they clearly stole many sections from, let's see how the video is responding. This was published on March 6th. 1.2 thousand upvotes, 1.5 thousand downvotes. Hey everyone, let's all dislike this video because they stole from a small YouTuber, CZ's World. Thanks for your help. So this was actually stolen word for word, basically. Yo disliked this, he copied CZ's World. You literally took this from CZ's World, you should be disgusted. Y'all ain't right for stealing this from CZ's World. Why you copying it? So you can see over and over again. But see, the problem is the damage is done. This Screen Rant, they're going to puke out another 20 videos a day. They've long forgotten about this, and clearly they've done it, at least according to the evidence, to maybe hundreds of other videos. But what recourse do small YouTubers have? Well, I strongly support both CZ's World and Slush to copyright strike these videos. I don't know if you'd be able to win, but I think it's our only option. And then putting together legal funds to try and prove this in court is going to be exceedingly difficult. YouTube has continued to be, the individual creators have continued to be used as a source for these super huge mega content corporations, and we can't do anything to protect ourselves. People are ripping content constantly and with zero repercussions. So when will this stop? When will YouTube stop allowing their individual small creators to be victimized by these super huge mega corporations? Because we have nothing to protect ourselves other than perhaps the strike system, which, by the way, I would support either one of these individual creators doing, because to me, I'm convinced that these are not, these are absolutely plagiarized. And I'm hoping that people will continue to share these videos and get active on Twitter with Screen Rant and TheScore and continue to remind them every single time they tweet. Every single time they tweet, I want this video posted there, or I want this Slush's video there, or CZ's World video there. I want everybody, you know, in an ideal world, they will not be able to forget this until there is some punishment. Now I'm going to show you what can only be described as some rage-inducing clips from Content Thief's Screen Rant.
But using the exact same image I used and breaking down the word's history exactly as I did is kind of suspicious. And it is almost word for word. It's like the classic school report where you just have to change the wording so that it doesn't look like it's copy and pasted from Wikipedia, but it's a huge company in a 4-story building ripping off an independent YouTuber during a global recession. When Cecilia is escaping, we see her Cal Poly architecture sweater, and later she interviews for a job at an architectural firm. The characters have fitting career choices for their roles in the story. Architecture represents privacy. It's the idea of putting up walls and shielding yourself from the gaze of the outside world. And optics technology represents the invasion of privacy. People like Adrian are suppliers for paparazzi. And in our world today, technology companies are seen as leeches for data and are often criticized for their misleading privacy policies.
When she's trying to escape, we see that she's wearing a top with the logo of Cal Poly Architecture. This College of Architecture and Environmental Design is a real place, and apparently Cecilia was a student at some point, since we saw her during an interview for an architectural firm. Architects are quite literally responsible for putting up walls, which seems fitting since Cecilia spends most of the movie desperately trying to shield herself from Adrian. It also provides a contrast with his occupation as a scientist in the field of optics. While she's trying to keep people out, he's trying to find a way in.
Like, are you kidding me? This is disgusting.
After Cecilia escapes, she's staying at James's house, and I noticed him wearing a shirt that says Prestige Records 1949. The year may be a reference to the release day of The Invisible Man Appears, which was a Japanese adaptation of H.G. Wells' novel The Invisible Man, which is what the original film was based on.
James's home is a welcome refuge from Adrian, but pay attention to the shirt he's wearing. It says Prestige Records 1949. 1949 was the year the movie Tomei Ninjin Arawaru was released in Japan, a movie also known as Invisible Man Appears. It's an adaptation of the H.G. Wells book The Invisible Man.
There are many other examples in CZ's World's video and the other video as well, and I hope you'll watch them. I hope you'll check out their channels and at least watch their side-by-side comparison videos. And my sincere hope is that the internet will rise up and fill their social media with the exact appropriate amount of venom as required from stealing from independent creators. Anyway, it's bad enough. But during these times right now, when CPMs are half of what they were 3 months ago, these corporations are getting desperate, and I wouldn't be surprised if their continued quest for stealing more independent content creators' content increases. That's why we must call it out. That's why we must spread the word. And I hope that YouTube will side with both of these channels against these huge corporations. But I'm not holding my breath. Therefore, the internet will have to handle it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.